Are we live?
Mm-hmm.
Hello there, people.
Hey, all you people, won't you listen to me? You've got to try this sandwich. It's no ordinary sandwich. It's the tastiest sandwich in the sea.
The hell is this?
SpongeBob.
An
That's
ad
why
for
you don't get
Legend
it.
of the Sea? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I don't get it.
The Krabby Patty.
Yeah.
I only know one thing about the Krabby Patty, and it's the secret.
That it's made with plankton or whatever.
It's the Krabby Patty is made out of negging. It's episode 201 of the Platformers, a show about nerds and culture and shit. I'm your host.
This
Brian
was
Barnett.
the moment it all went downhill. I'm Josh Mobley.
I'm Chris Shriver.
This week we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. Man, where do we want to start? Actually, let's start by saying, hey, Josh, did you know that a fancy game from Ubiquitous Software has just come out called Far Cry 6?
No, I didn't.
Software.
Yeah.
I did not. I haven't played a Far Cry since. Well, that's a lie. I did rent Far Cry 5 and was like, don't like this. And
yeah,
then
no, me neither.
I was saying
4,
to somebody,
I played a little bit.
I was saying to somebody at work today, I have bought, I think, every Far Cry that has ever come out, and every time I'm like, maybe this is the one. And it just every time I play for an hour, and I'm like, nope.
3 I loved, and then ever since then I haven't loved another.
I loved the first one, and that's it.
Well, let me tell you something, Chris. You might like this one if you want to do anything cooperatively, because you can play the entire game after, I think, the third mission, which is like not that long to get to. You can play the entire game co-op.
I think
and it's very fun.
The fifth one is that way as well. My cousin was telling me he had a ball playing that game.
A whole ball.
A whole ball.
Oh, I didn't play 5, so I can't speak to that. But somebody who it was working on the guide with me said that it's different from 5 in the way that it does co-op.
Sure.
So I don't know.
I don't know.
But you can like literally just be like, yo, join me, and then just do whatever.
Neat.
So you can just explore the world. And fun fact, it's actually a good way to earn a lot of a special currency that lets you buy a lot of really powerful stuff. And you get like rewards for a bunch of shit that you open. So like even if you open all the special hidden chests and then you invite somebody new into your game and have them open them, you still get shit, which is cool.
That's good.
So yeah, I'm having an absolute blast with it. Like I've been working on it. I'm writing the main walkthrough and doing like promotions and stuff like that. And I've been working on that, roughly 40 hours a week. And then like I actually was having so much fun with it that like over a weekend I was like, I kind of want to play some more Far Cry 6. Why don't I go back and like do some side stuff just for fun? And then did that. So I mean, it speaks well of a game when like I didn't like Far Cry 5. And yes, it's my job, but I'm also playing it like in off hours just
because you want to.
Because I want to, because it's really fun.
Yeah.
When I was done with Metroid Dread, I was like, yeah, let me play some more of this. It's really fun. It's really fun. You get like ultimate abilities with your like I don't know if you've seen anything about it, but you get these like Supremo backpacks that are like Resolver is like the idea. It takes place. Everybody knows that Giancarlo Esposito is the villain. Which I had no idea that's how he pronounced his name until I saw like the promo, and I was like, "Oh, okay, all right. Well, I guess you would know." No.
Wow.
He said, "My name is Giancarlo Esposito," and I was like, "Okay, all right, man. whatever you say, bud." Yeah. And he's awesome. I like him as the villain in this. It's a lot of fun. It's basically like a Cuba stand-in, where like they've had like,
aren't they all?
Like blockades and stuff. So like their cars are like 50s and 60s cars, like that sort of like those old boats and stuff. And like all their stuff is like pretty old. And so they have the idea of Resolver is like you make what you can with what you have. And so like you've got these like ultimate weapons that like shoot CDs.
Yeah.
Like, or like you've got like a
Doesn't
Gatling
one
gun.
shoot like LPs, like records?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there's like a Gatling gun that's made out of like an old car engine, and stuff like that. And there's just tons of stuff. There's like a giant crossbow that you can get. One of the first things they give you is like a homemade flamethrower. And then there's like a humorously, if you've been playing Deathloop, there is a nail gun that is a stealth weapon that you just shoot super powerful nails.
Year of the nail gun.
Yeah, it is. It really is the year of the nail gun. But then you also get these backpacks that have like these special abilities. So like the first one they give you has like high powered like rockets on it, and you just lean forward like Iron Man and just shoot a volley of rockets out of it.
Oh, wow.
And there's another one that has like poison and it shoots out balls of poison. And there's another one that's like a flamethrower and you kind of use it as a rocket pack, and stuff like that. Then there's one that's like inspired by like this religion, and you like cut your hand with a dagger and make a blood sacrifice, and then it like gives you vision, like to see through walls. And there's like this long rifle revolver that has like a bunch of glyphs written on it of like this religion, and it shoots through walls. So like you can literally see the glowing figures. I mean, it's like it's basically they're worshiping like a chaos deity and stuff.
So it's
like
the
that.
Midnight Mass gun.
I haven't watched that yet.
God damn it! It's fine.
I need to get on it.
It's not that good.
It's not. I've heard I've heard mixed.
It's my least favorite of the three. I'll say that.
Oh, I haven't even watched the second one. I only watched Hill House.
Hill House,
which I loved.
Yeah, Hill House is definitely like top tier.
A banger.
I don't know anything about any of this. I don't watch them Spookums. I don't watch that stuff.
Brian, I'll tell you now, it's not that scary.
They're
you
really
can deal
not.
with it.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
It's just a good story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
it's
I'll check it out.
phenomenally good.
Yeah. Definitely worth. Hill House, especially. Definitely worth.
Is that
watching.
the one where it's like the lady's face, but there's like a house for the top half of her face?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't happen though.
Wait, the
Welcome to
person
my
doesn't.
face!
The person isn't a giant who lives underground.
No.
She's like, I am Hill House. Complete with like BWAM.
But like that's literally all I've seen is just the cover of the thing. You know.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. Just go in blind. You'll
Yeah,
have a
go
very
in,
good
that's
go
time.
in
fine.
blind for sure if you're gonna watch it.
Man, there was something else that somebody was saying like to go in knowing nothing about, and I can't remember what it was. But yeah, but like I'm really so like you go around and you do the standard Far Cry stuff. You just fly around and blow shit up. But it also, I don't know, like I was talking to somebody on Twitter, and I was basically like, this gives me all the stuff that I want from Grand Theft Auto. Because I don't need all the stuff that Grand Theft Auto does. It gives me like all that plus like the insane mayhem that like a lot of people get out of Just Cause. I just like it more because it's like it's more polished than that. Like I always had issues with Just Cause.
Just Cause is like as much as I love
Mess.
those games. Yeah, it is kind of a mess. Like it's.
Mm-hmm.
My brother-in-law
meant to be
tried to
more
get me to play it, and
sandboxy.
I was just like, man, this feels fucking terrible. And
Yeah.
playing Far Cry is just like, this is a great shooter. And also, I have a fucking stealth tiger that when he murders people without them realizing it, they turn into a puff of smoke and nobody can find their bodies. Like, it's insanity.
Yeah.
You know, and there's, fire propagation and all that sort of shit. You can just hop in a tank and blow shit up. It's a lot of fun. How about on a jet ski? Just pal around for a while. But yeah, I'm having a really great time with it. I'm not done yet. I just finished the third major area, so I got one area left and then the end game. But yeah, if you're trying to get some help through that, including some bizarre story choices that I did not know were going to be in the game, check it out on IGN.com. Full video walkthrough and a written walkthrough by me. To be clear, I phrased that weirdly. I did not do the video walkthrough, but the full video walkthrough is up now, so you can do that. And then I'm working on finishing the written one. Yeah.
Oh, while I'm thinking of it, since when are you guys allowed to swear on the wiki team in the wiki?
What do you mean?
Like, I found a bunch of naughty words in the Metroid Dread wiki when I was like going through after I beat it,
I mean, I didn't write that.
and I was like, I didn't know they could do that. No one's.
Anybody can edit. Anybody can edit those. I don't know if you're aware.
Anymore.
No, it's
Not
not
anymore?
as yeah.
Not anymore. There was some stuff that was going down, and we had to lock it down.
Mm.
A lot of weird stuff just randomly edited in.
Mm.
And so now I think it's just like approved users and stuff.
Mm.
I don't think that's for everything, but it definitely was for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know who did. I think Sam did. Sam and Brennan worked on Metroid Dread. I need to figure that out. Because
I'll see if I can find
know.
it. And it's nothing bad. It was like, you know, like this ass hat or like something like that. Like they were
Nice.
referring to like an enemy like that way, and I was like,
All right, you shoot this fucking door, walk through it.
It's like I started laughing when I was reading it. I was like, this is great, but like
hole.
I'm not used
And
to
then
seeing
you
that.
fucking get those rockets and shove it up his ass.
Show it who's boss.
But yeah,
I said,
mean,
hey, super missile, bam, and I moved on.
how do you like those missiles, bitch?
It's closed.
But yeah,
Whatever.
it's I mean, I definitely swore a lot playing that game, so I understand.
Oh, I
the sentiment.
definitely did.
Yeah, and we're off air. We're working on a schedule for when we're gonna do a Metroid Dread spoiler cast. So expect that in the coming weeks, I think. I mean, at the very least, you and I can do it if other stuff doesn't work out. So, but we do have some guests that we may have on. But yeah, I really, really like it. I think it's really, really good. This is maybe I don't like everything that it does. I don't like how it attaches perks to gear. I liked it in Far Cry 4 when you just like got skill points and then you leveled up and then you popped it into a skill and then you just always had it.
Yeah.
So by the end of the game, you were just running around and you were awesome at everything. Now you improve a little bit over time and like your weapons, like your improvements like stay. But other than that, like if you want to have like I want to go gather some more resources, there's an outfit that I equip all the individual pieces for that. Or if I want to improve my soft target bullet defense or my armor piercing bullet defense or my blast defense and stuff like that. Like there's a bunch of different gear that you have to get and all that sort of stuff. And I don't love that. That kind of bugs me, but you can change how you look, which is kind of cool, I guess. But other than that, like I this might be my favorite Far Cry game, actually.
Nice.
And I have not played 3. I started with 4 and really liked that one. I think I either 100%ed it or got every achievement but one. And I played all the DLC for it.
I feel like it might, never having played it, at this point, like, it's probably too late to play 3, right? Like,
I would say
it does not
probably.
look good.
yeah.
I
don't know if it
tried to
aged
play
well.
it.
The
Yeah.
writing might have aged fine, but the game itself might not have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to play it after 4 because everybody loved it, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
It just didn't, like, because 4 looks great.
No,
you know,
they did a
and-
really good job with 4. Like, I still think that game looks pretty good today.
Yeah. And it was a fairly early PS4 game, if I recall correctly.
Mhm.
Maybe mid-gen,
It's probably like
I can't
2 or
recall.
3 years in.
something like that. But
Yeah.
I remembered it looking really, really good. And it's hard to go back to the PS3 360 games. And that's what Far Cry 3 is. Even on PC, like it doesn't look great. I actually got it. They had it for like pennies on the Uplay store, and I picked it up and started it up, and I think I got through like the very first part of the intro where he like gets caught and then gets out of the thing and meets your first friendly faces, and I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So, but I really like 6. So, some people have brought up like problematic issues with it, but I like it for what that's worth. It's like a fun popcorn action movie that you play. So, I like it a lot, and co-op is like, as I said, super easy and really, really fun. So, I recommend it.
Nice.
So,
Josh, did you watch Dune? Oh, he's frozen.
he is frozen.
I thought he was just like smiling at something and being very
very smug.
very smug. Yeah. All right, I guess I'll ask that question whenever he unfreezes. I wonder if he
Yeah.
knows he's frozen. Oh well. Now we can talk smack.
Josh, you frozen son of a bitch, get those super missiles out, Jay.
All right. Well, then in other news, I started a game this weekend that I've had for a while. And
Really?
I think it was because I finished Metroid Dread Friday night at like 1 a.m. and I like had done a bunch of maintenance, and I was like, I was at the last boss, and I was like, I just need to beat this game. And I woke up Saturday morning, and I was like, I need something like Zen after that, because the last boss in that game is like pretty intense. So
weirdly, well, I know we're not in the spoiler cast, but like the last boss was super, super, super intense, and then all of a sudden he just wasn't.
It wasn't, yeah. Once you get used to the patterns, it's like, oh.
And then when I beat it, I like literally almost didn't get hit. I think I got hit like once or twice the whole fight.
Yeah. Once you get through like those first 2 phases, it's like,
yeah,
okay, this isn't that bad. And then,
yeah.
So I started up.
So what's this Zen game?
Death Stranding Director's Cut on the PS5.
That is a very Zen game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, he dropped. All right, I'm gonna take the overlay off.
He'll be back.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. His internet was having issues. He told us to keep going. So
okay. Yeah. So Death Stranding Director's Cut. I'm interested in the world that this game has built, or is like, and the way that
prescient as fuck.
What's that?
Prescient as fuck.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it, but I don't know that I'll ever finish it. Like, a friend of mine messaged like one of the Discord servers I'm in today, and he's been playing it for, I think like 2 or 3 months, maybe longer. And he got the platinum, and he's like, cool, now I can play literally anything else. And like that platinum is like 70 to 120 hours.
This is why people need to liberate themselves from the trophy hunt, because especially, and we've talked about this so many times.
But he's the kind of guy, I will say, like, it's not like me with Uncharted where it's like I'm playing this because I feel like I have to or whatever. Like, he genuinely loves the game.
Yeah.
And like he's done it with some pretty hard games like Crash Bandicoot, the trilogy, which is an incredibly difficult platinum.
I love
Horizon, the Dark Souls games. Hello. But yeah, the way that they
did he do this with Dark Souls 2?
I think he did. I think he's done it with all of them.
That's the only one. That one, and did I do Dark Souls 1? I did do Dark Souls 1. I just didn't do it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I did the original Dark Souls 1 100% on Steam. I just didn't do it on remastered. Okay, got it. All right, so the only one I have not done is 2.
Okay.
Because it's just, I don't like that game that much.
Yeah. But I think like the characters in it are interesting. And the graphics alone.
Yeah, they are kind of hit or miss.
Have you played it?
Death Stranding?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
I played a ton of it. Yeah, I beat it. Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I thought about getting the platinum and then decided not to.
Yeah. How long did it take you to beat it?
I don't know. I could probably check that, right? I played it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Where would you look this up?
I know where to do it on the system. I don't know where to do it on the app.
I played the absolute shit out of that game.
Yeah, I mean, so like I'm basically at the point where, like I have my BB unit. I went to, I think the second cremation thing. I think it was the first one.
Oh Jesus. Those are so early in the game.
Well, yeah. Like I literally, I played it that day, and that was it for like 3 hours or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a pretty strong intro.
No, I that's just it. Like I really like the intro a lot. I think my concern is like, I don't know how long that game is gonna keep me.
It kept me for a whole 2 hours.
Did it?
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to do this.
I think if what you are going to it for is a Zen experience, you'll stick with it.
That's just it. Like I think it's very good for that, but there's no way that it will be the only thing that I play right now. Like I think it is Saturday, Sunday morning. I just want to kind of chill out for like an hour or two and just walk around like a beautiful landscape. Like I'm here for that.
You might blink away at it. Yeah.
Yeah. But
it actually, I wasn't. So my thoughts on Death Stranding, and I don't know how much the director's cut changes things, but my thought about Death Stranding was initially, hell yeah, a mysterious, Kojima game, another one for me to really dig my teeth into. And I think I'm kind of known at this point for liking just very strange stuff that's just like kind of unapologetically odd.
Yeah.
Like I really like the stuff that's in Metal Gear Solid 2, like which is weird. Like
Fist
Metal Gear
fighting
Solid
the
1
president.
is like
You
very
like that?
straightforward. Like it's a very focused, straightforward story. 2 fucking goes places.
Yeah.
3 doesn't really go places. 4 kind of does, but it's not that good. And then 5 kind of, but nobody really goes off like Metal Gear Solid 2. And then there are these other games where you play it and it's like Pony Island. Like I'll play a game and it just goes off. Or Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah.
I love that shit. And Death Stranding is kind of that way. Is kind of like Kojima being like, what if I just fuck with you for like
what if I just like
30
really
hours?
leaned into it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's like the game is like really kind of bisected. It's half this like Zen delivery simulator and half absolutely bonkers what the fuck is happening moments.
Yeah.
And I like how you can just engage with it and zen out and just make deliveries if that's what you want to do. And if you want because there's the other things, like you see people, back when the game like first came out, you would see people be like, hey, I can literally ride from one side of the United States to the other on this single like monorail system that I built, where I just like stick my little grabber thing up in the air and then I hang onto this laser line and it just shoots me across the mountains. And it's like that shit's cool. And if you want to do that, you can do that.
Yeah.
And if you want to like get into the story, then you can. And if you want to see Jeff Keighley and Conan O'Brien in their bunkers, you can. And if you want to fight a fucking squid from under the ground, then you can.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I feel like the end of this game gets just absolutely bonkers, nuts, insane. And so I think that I don't know. I don't want to say it's not substantive because I think it's trying to say things in the way that Kojima often does. I think part of it is interesting kind of H.P. Lovecraft kind of otherworldly spectacle with like no explanation or reason or
as to why those are there, other than this is the world that they live in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean they give explanations, but like at the same time, it feels like the world of explanations and the world of the stuff that exists are kind of separate.
Yeah.
And that's also separate from like the delivery boy stuff.
Yeah.
And so it feels like there's a bunch of pieces that make up this game. And I like all the pieces. I enjoyed my time with it. I just didn't know that it left as substantive a lasting impression as like maybe Kojima would have wanted. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I get
But
that.
I enjoyed it. I think I'd be surprised. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if you fell off. But if you're going to it just for Zen, like there's plenty of that to be had.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Like,
it's
even,
just a matter
even
of
just
like,
to the end of the game. Yeah.
yeah, like I got a lot of almost like Breath of the Wild vibes of just kind of like wandering. So it was cool for that because I haven't played a game like that probably since Ghost, which was like back in January, December of like beginning of this year, end of last year.
Yeah. Wow. So like 2 of those games in 1 year.
Yeah, yeah. So, I'm excited to keep diving into it.
And it's good because when you get further in, like if you like the combat in Metal Gear Solid 5, like it kind of gets like that later.
Okay, I didn't play that, but that's cool.
Yeah. Like the shooting is pretty solid third person shooting.
Yeah.
So it's and that was one of the things that I really liked about Metal Gear Solid 5. And one of the reasons that like it might be my favorite in that series.
Really? It's like my least favorite.
Really?
Just as far as gameplay is concerned.
That and
like,
4. I don't
I
like
I feel like everything else in the Metal Gear games has aged better than 5, but I think that 5 is the gameplay I think is what makes it stand out for me. So it kind of depends on if I want the story, it's 2. If I want the gameplay, it's 5. But and Death Stranding can get there if you want it to, and then you could just ride around on a motorcycle and deliver shit if you want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts on it?
I think it looks and runs beautifully on PS5, which like isn't like anything that nobody's ever said, but
that seems to be like PS5 it shouldn't have been we believe in generations. It should be your shit's gonna run like fucking butter on this baby.
Yeah, like there's just so many moments where like I was playing it, I was by myself and out loud would just be like, this game looks fucking ridiculous. Like
yeah,
I just kept saying it out loud over and over again. Like Norman Reedus looks like he's there. And you know, same with the supporting cast. Like they look like real people, and like you can say that. I feel like you can like really say that about like that game and The Last of Us 2, and
Last of Us 2 looks fucking ridiculous.
Like maybe a couple others where it's like they have fucking fingerprints, like it's a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
Quick tech related question on that same thing of things running and looking amazing on the PS5. Is screen tearing a screen issue or a hardware/software issue?
Both.
Okay.
Or either,
I've seen
either or. Really.
Most of the time, Far Cry 6 looks amazing. I'm playing it on the PS5 with on a HD monitor.
Yeah.
At like, I think it's 1080p because PS5 won't do 1440. Hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it'll just randomly screen tear in the game as I'm like looking around and I'm like, well, this doesn't look very good. And then it stops.
So that can happen if the game doesn't have like VSync enabled on the back end, like in that port of the game. It can also happen. I mean, which it probably is that because it's not like your monitor doesn't support 60 FPS. Like it supports more than that over HDMI.
Yeah, it's a 165 hertz monitor,
but not over HDMI 1, which is what that is, because that's what your monitor probably has that. You would know if it had 2.1. So yeah, it's probably just not optimized that well at 1080p for PS5.
Okay.
Digital
I was just curious about
Foundry
that.
moments.
Yeah, I was curious about that because sometimes Far Cry 6 looks really, really great, and other times it's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. Josh, what have you been up to this week? Wait, Chris, were you gonna say something?
I mean, mostly packing because I'm moving in a month and a half. But
yeah, I noticed you didn't have any of your Star Wars stuff behind you.
I know it's all packed away. Not all of it, just the stuff behind me. We're basically like trying to pack up everything that like we're not gonna need in the next month and a half, and I'm not gonna need my multiple copies of Force Unleashed and Lego Star Wars on PS2 and GameCube and all that.
Are you sure?
I won't.
You're not gonna need Star Wars Bounty Hunter on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah. I mean, no, I won't, because I'm literally
Star
still
Wars
playing
Episode
2
1
games.
Racer for the Game Boy Color with the Rumble
I
pack
don't
built
have
in.
that, and if you had that, I would buy it off you.
I think I do have it.
How much
actually.
is that? I'm gonna look.
Probably not worth much. See, the beauty about collecting Star Wars games is they're not that expensive.
Well, they made so many of them.
I know. The most expensive one I've ever found is if you can get a complete in-box silver bordered, not gold bordered Star Wars for the original Game Boy. That's about like $150, like in box.
And that's actually not.
That's the most expensive one. Yeah, and even then you're like,
bad.
there are other games. Like if you collect JRPGs, you're laughing because there are some ones that are so expensive.
So Episode 1 Racer on Game Boy is $10 right now for just the cart. DuckTales 2 on the NES right now. Let's go to sold items on eBay. Oh wow, this is actually no, it hasn't. $600.
Yep,
yeah,
there it is. So,
emulate people. I'm telling you. Do not pay those prices. It's not worth it.
Packing up all that stuff. Honestly, I'm still playing 14. I am almost caught up for the expansion next month.
That's insane.
How is that insane?
How many hours do you have in this game?
Okay, let's be before I say the number though. only like maybe 20% of my time has been on MSQ, which is main story quest.
Yeah, the
And
most
it's
of it has been you
probably
in the fucking golden saucer.
doing like triple triad and stuff, but then also doing like there's all these other like game mode things like Palace of the Dead that you can do, which is like a roguelike that has a separate leveling system and stuff.
What? I didn't know
Yeah.
that was in there.
Yeah, it's wildly cool, and there's like 200 floors you have to get through that have boss encounters and stuff.
How
It's
What
many
is
wild,
this
hours,
fucking
Joshua?
Castlevania for the original Xbox?
bruh. I'm telling
Bruh.
you, it's great. And there's a whole other one they did in Stormblood called Heaven on High, which is the same thing, but it's like an extra other to it. I haven't even touched Heaven on High. So,
Okay. Answer Chris's question. How many hours you got in
Okay.
this fucking game?
I know I have at least like 200, but I haven't passed. I'm pretty sure I haven't passed 300. To be fair, though, a good amount of those hours sometimes are my wife and I and our friends like literally goofing off and like taking pictures. So when the
clock
Final
has
Fantasy,
clearly been run up.
yeah,
Hold on.
So when-
No. I want to put this into perspective for everyone. Okay, so Destiny 2 is a game that I exclusively played for about a year and a half on PC. It was literally the only game that I played for a while. I have 175 hours in that game.
yeah. But there's a lot of idle time in MMOs too, like just
Sure.
kind of standing around. And I'm getting like when that Final Fantasy 15 event came back and you could get the car mount that held 4 people. My friend bought it. And we literally spent an entire night just taking pictures and goofing off. Didn't do any dungeons or anything. We went to the beach. I made an entire glam set where I looked like a douchebag. I had like sunglasses and like an open shirt and stuff.
You were
We
a
took all
Chad?
these I took all these funny pictures where I'm like about to get run over. I like photoshopped like an album cover and stuff. We just goofed off. The photo mode in that game is insane. So like there's nights where you do stuff like that. Or there's, like if my wife's like only on she's like about to hit Stormblood, and then our other friend who's playing is just getting to Heavensward. So anytime they're like, I have to do this dungeon, and like they don't want to do it with randos, we come swoop in. Like we're not really doing any, I'm not getting anything for that, but I'm still going in there.
Sure.
So a lot of that time, is spent doing other things. But yeah, I'm almost caught up. I think I'm on patch 5.3, which means I have 2 more patches or 3 more patches after this to get through, and then I will be caught up for Endwalker, which I could do. I haven't been like when I sit to play, I'm maybe playing, I don't know. Lately, it's been like half an hour to an hour.
Well, especially if you're backing up the house.
Yeah.
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 There's a lot of stuff going on, so it's been busy. And then some nights I like don't really feel like playing an MMO, so I'm still playing 13. And I think I'm almost done. I am doing like all the side stuff now in the open world. So it's like all the Seath stones, which are basically like if you played 12, they're the hunt board. Except they're not like in an inn. They're just like these stones out in the world that you find, and they have like a hunt target, and you go find it, and you get a star rating based on how well you did, and they give you all of the like resources you need to level up and evolve your weapons and stuff. So been doing that really. Yeah, I haven't, and then Back for Blood. We've been playing the final release of Back for Blood a little bit.
I need to get together with some people and play that because I've decided that I'm not going to play that unless it's with other people.
Yep.
I've only been playing it with other people.
Yeah.
And some of my fears of the beta are true, where like there are certain things in like the story, right, where it's like this is gonna happen every time, where when you go to this specific underpass, an ogre is gonna appear every time. Like that happens, but like the weapon drops and when hordes come and stuff, that all is random still. So it gives like a little bit of variety.
And then you unlock. I don't remember.
Left 4 Dead was
it all procedurally?
Left 4 Dead didn't have bosses like the ogres
I mean,
and stuff.
they
So
would have like the witches and
But it
stuff
had-
would show up at random places.
Yeah.
it had procedural elements, yeah. So there would be like the witches would show up in different places, or like the
Or, like,
hordes would show up in different
smokers
places and
different
stuff.
things
Yeah.
would show up in different
Yeah.
places, or not
Um,
at all.
so it has about the same amount of variability, I would say, but it has certain things that you're like, I know this is going to happen every time, which makes it a little less interesting, but it's still variety enough that you'll get the thing out of it. Hang on. My wife's trying to retrieve my dog. But yeah, Back for Blood, Catch the Fever. Hold on.
I was about to ask Josh a question, but now he cannot answer. So, listeners, how you doing out there? Don't worry, it's just me trying to seduce you through your ears. Is it working? How you doing out there? I'm just gonna lament the fact that I've just run out of water and that both of my co-hosts are talking to other people.
Oh God, I abandoned you. I did feed them. Yes.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm good. Apparently, I left a plate in the microwave, and Jess was very confused. I threw like my pita, my egg pita, in there this morning, and then I was like in a rush and just like grabbed it and ran out. And she was like, "Did the microwave evaporate your food?"
I left it in for so long that it went past burning and just went to
it just disappeared
into another dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. So I jumped into a couple of games that I actually played on Game Pass. I've been since Metroid Dread is over for me. I may play through it again or like go for 100%. I don't know. I may just move on to other stuff.
You should wait. I don't know. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I jumped into some more Scarlet Nexus. I played the demo, and I played the intro playing as the other character. I played as
that's
the guy.
on Game Pass now, right?
Yes, everybody thought it was on Game Pass when it launched. It was not, but now it is. Also, man, I am such a sweaty boy today. I played the drums for like a half hour before I started, and then lifted weights because we got our new adjustable.
Oh, do you like them?
Weights. Yeah, they're very good.
Nice.
They're very good. Unfortunately,
Hey, I'm back.
our big like multi-function bench hasn't come in yet, so like I can't really do it in earnest yet until like I think like 2 days from now or something like that. When the bench
Did you get a cage, or
comes
did
in.
you just get a bench? Like, can you do
cage?
Like you do like squats and like a barbell? Like, did you get that whole bit, or did you like just get a bench?
No, I just got a bench, but you can arrange it in like all kinds of different ways. So it can
that's
be
what I have.
It can be flat, it can be seated incline, it can be seated decline, so you can do like crunches and stuff like that. I'm very excited.
Nice.
So it's going to enable us to do like a lot of like we'll be able to do flies really easy. We'll be able to do like bench press stuff, like incline press, like a bunch of stuff. I'm very much looking forward to it. I just need to figure out a way for us to do like leg stuff and then like maybe suspended stuff. So like hanging raise or pull-ups or something like that. I just need to figure out something for that. Other than that, I've just been doing like this high intensity thing. I actually found this routine from somebody called Chloe Ting, who puts together like free workout routines.
Oh yeah.
And I did one of them like last week, and it was like really good, but I was bushed for quite some time because I'm out of shape and need to really get back into it. So,
Just gotta keep.
But yeah, that's been good. But I jumped back into Scarlet Nexus and I played the guy in the demo or beta, and now that it's actually on Game Pass, I started up as the female lead, and it's interesting. I'm playing through it. The action is still like really good. I don't know if I'm gonna get back to it, but I just wanted to dip in and see like, hey, is this something that I still want to play, or not? And right now it seems like maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I also tried this game Astria Ascending. Have you?
I have that downloaded. I haven't booted it up yet.
Okay, so I started this, and I think it's pretty interesting.
Sell me on it. Why should I boot it up?
Well, Astria Ascending is on Game Pass, and it is made by ex-Final Fantasy developers. So
it
there's
looks
that.
very Final Fantasy. from the screenshots I'm looking at.
It looks but it looks like the promotional art from like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Yeah.
Or Final Fantasy 12. Like it's like that
the
visual
game looks
style.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
The actual game looks like the concept art for like Mont Blanc the Moogle. Like that sort of shit. So it looks really cool. It looks really, really good. It's like kind of almost watercolor type of visuals and stuff. So I will say the game is split up into a couple of different sections, one of which I think is very not good, but the others are very good. So basically, it's unlike Final Fantasy games, this is a 2D game. So you are running around and there are like very meh platforming sections where there are basically rudimentary or non-existent puzzles of like, hey, run to the far left, pick up this orb, bring the orb to the right and jump up on something and put it in this slot and open the door. Or, hey, run to these different corners and light up these portraits in the right order that goes along with this very basic riddle in order to open the door and proceed. And then you get into the combat and that shit fucking slaps hella hard. So basically it takes the interesting part of Bravely Default and puts it into a way better game. So like you can borrow turns, and it incorporates. God damn, I should have taken more detailed notes because I was thinking that I'd be talking about this sooner after I played it. But basically, what you can do is you can you can store up energy that you spend. If you exploit a weakness, you actually gain bonus points that also gives you this currency. So like you can be like, all right, I'm not going to act this turn. I'm just going to charge up energy to give myself a multiplier on whatever action I take next. And I think it's like a 20% modifier or 50%. So like you can store up like 4 turns worth of power and do something that does like 2 or 3 times the damage of your normal attack. And once you figure out this enemy's weaknesses, you can use that to like absolutely shred them. So like you can be like, all right, I can't exploit this enemy's weakness right now, but I'm going to store up some turns and you pool those. So let's say you've got one enemy that can exploit their weakness because they have like a fire ability or something, but your other characters don't have those. So what you have them do is they store up their turns so that when the turn comes around to the person that can exploit their weakness, you fucking amp that shit up to 11 and obliterate them. It's really interesting. So even if your person isn't suited for fighting these particular enemies, they still have something valuable to do, even if they're not healing or something like that. And not only that, you have all 8 characters from the very beginning of the game, and you can switch them at any time during combat. So you can literally like act with a character.
Like Final Fantasy X.
Yes, except you can switch up to the entire party at once. Which is something I think in 10, I think you had to switch like one character at a time.
It was 1 by 1.
Yeah. Yeah, you can literally just be like,
it was
all
1
right,
by 1.
All right, I need to switch out the entire party right now and just do it. So that's really, really interesting. They make you lean into that with the boss fights. I think I've done like 2 boss fights so far. But they really are like, yo, this and you actually lose those points. So the degree to which you gain and lose those points depends on what happens to the enemy. If you do an attack and they were actually strong against it, you lose points. So like you can store up those points, but then if you attack with like holy magic and they absorb that, then you lose like I think 2 points or something. And determine based on whether you like charge up these points or whether you get them from exploiting weaknesses. If you charge up those points, they leave after the following turn. So like you can't just store them up and just wait. Like you have to be doing this push and pull with this system, which I think makes it way more engaging than like most turn-based games that I play now. Like some are like so good fundamentally, like Final Fantasy X, that like it doesn't really matter. But most games are like they're just lacking this flavor, and I really really like that. This game also has like a sphere grid for each of your characters, and let's see. The English voice acting is kind of like it's not bad, but the writing is kind of inconsistent in its quality. Sometimes it's like feels really good and natural, and sometimes it feels like stilted and weird, and I'm not really sure about that. It also Josh, it incorporates a kind of version of Triple Triad into the game.
Yeah.
So, yes, but it has it's like Triple Triad but with hexagons. So it's like a grid, like a honeycomb grid of hexagons, and you play on that.
So it's hexatriad. I don't know.
Something like that. But yeah, and you can like capture them from like 4 different angles. It's interesting. It is because of that. It is like, wow, this really is made by Final Fantasy people taking some of their best ideas and just being like, what if we kind of tweak this enough so we didn't get sued? But yeah, like I think that the platforming kind of stinks and like the writing is inconsistent, but like the actual gameplay is like very very fun. I didn't know what to expect from this because I hadn't actually seen any of the like promos or ads or anything, but I had a good time with it. And it's on Game Pass, so you can just like jump in and like see if you like it.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to. I got it on Xbox through Game Pass, so I'm gonna have to give it a go.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth a try. Like
or shizzle.
And I think that the idea, so I didn't even say what the premise was. The premise is you control this team of like champions, and the idea is when you're young, I think when you're like a certain, I guess it's not age, but there's like a certain point in your life, like it comes around like every year or whatever, like people get chosen to become champions. And what happens is they obtain like divine levels of power, but they only live for 3 years after that. Like exactly, precisely.
So it's like Final Fantasy 13.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't played it, but effectively the game starts when this particular group of champions has 1 month left to live. And that's when the game starts. Like they're established champions. They've been champions for like almost 3 years. Everybody loves them. There are posters of them up. People like sing their praises as they run around, but like they know they're about to die. And like that was something they all made peace with because like when you're chosen, that's just what happens. But it's like kind of things are popping off. So it's pretty interesting. I like it so far. I think it's an interesting premise. Like starting with a team that is doomed from the start and like has already gotten past the acceptance part and is just like, let's just enjoy the time that we have left. And then you start the story. Like I'm very interested. Like where do you go from there? Like you've already gotten to what would have been the resolution in a lot of other movies or games and stuff like that, you know. But yeah. So there's that. There's another game that I really want to talk about, but I can't talk about until next show. So I will not talk about that.
Whomp.
Womp womp.
I got a thing yesterday that I wasn't expecting to get.
Is it another fucking cat?
Video? Is it a video card?
Is
oh yeah, an OLED Switch.
Yeah.
Nice.
What do you think?
Yeah, how do you feel?
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, my brother Mark has been going back and forth, and she's 6, 7, so she doesn't watch this show. My niece, he wants to get my niece a Switch for Christmas, and we kept going back and forth on. He was like, I want her to have one that she can dock because my nephew, if he sees her playing it, is going to be like, but I want to play blah blah blah, and he's like 3, or going to be 3, and he, so he wanted to be able to dock it, but at the same time, my brother was like, I'm afraid she's going to break this thing, and I don't want to drop $300 on it or whatever, because I much rather get her the light. And so like we chatted about it, and I was like, I'll give you my old one, and then we'll work something out where, like, you know, he had the OLED already. He had bought one. So he gave it to me yesterday. I wasn't expecting him to, but I like did the whole transfer like system thing and everything like that. So I played with it a little bit over lunch a little bit today. I got my screen protector and I put that on because apparently it's like super prone to scratching, and I was like, no, thank you. But I was trying a couple different things, and like I'm surprised at what games.
Metroid's supposed to look really good on
I
it.
haven't actually tried Metroid, but I'm surprised at the games that like are surprising me. Like I just keep like popping different ones in, like Hyper Light Drifter.
Newsflash: water is wet.
Yeah.
I was surprised by the things that surprised me.
Yeah. Hyper Light Drifter. Shovel Knight looks like Spectre of Torment. Like there's so much like black in that game.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
like that game looks like really, really good. Yeah, there's been it's been really cool.
That's kind of crazy. You can play Outlast on the Switch. I wonder what that looks like.
Well, anything like that, like Doom 3, because that game is like incredibly dark, like just visibly, not just like dark in tone. It is also that, but like that Dark Souls, I imagine it probably looks really, really good. RE4, so like there's a lot of
Dark Souls remastered on Switch OLED.
Yeah,
interesting.
So there's like a bunch of different titles that I have that I've either waited to play or just like never got around to, that I kind of fired up today, and I was like, I wonder which one of these is gonna like really suck me in, because I want to play things on it. One thing that is interesting though that I wanted to bring up that I haven't seen many people talk about. I've seen like Nintendo Life talk about it, and that's pretty much it. There's 2 different color modes on it.
Really?
And I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but like I picked the Mario Tennis like loading screen or whatever, because I think it's kind of easy to tell on here. There we go. So this is what's called Vibrant, or what they consider as Vibrant.
Huh?
And then if you go into the settings and go to System,
and they've got Super Vibrant.
No, they have Standard.
Your eyeballs bleed.
Well, and that's just it. Like,
wait, so you can play a game in its normal, in its non-OLED kind of.
Yeah, so like this is considered, and you may not be able to tell. I don't know. For anybody, audio listeners, like,
Interesting.
Yeah, so like that's not as. It's not as harsh to your eyes. And what's funny is like I was playing Mario Galaxy and I thought to myself, like, this seems almost like oversaturated. Like I think like
it seems like it's not quite right.
Yeah, like almost like it looks beautiful, but almost like a little bit warm. To the point where like when I was playing it, I was like, I wonder like if my eyes would start to hurt like if I played this for too long, because it's just like so much color.
So they've somehow found a way to turn the Switch into the Virtual Boy.
Yeah. So I played for like probably 40 minutes, Mario Galaxy, and I switched to that standard mode, and all of a sudden, like my eyes just had this like moment of relief that like I didn't know would happen, and I was like, I wonder like if I don't know if it's the end because it's the end of the day and I'm just tired, but like I'm going to try it again. And see what happens. But I thought it was like a weird moment where it's like almost like when you put like a blue light filter
like any
on.
true scientist, you've decided to experiment upon yourself.
That's right.
Nothing could go wrong.
But yeah, if you've ever used a blue light filter on your computer or anything like that, after
3 weeks,
a certain amount of time, like when you flip it on, it's like, wow, I didn't realize how like strained my eyes were until I did that. But like overall, the other thing I thought was funny too, I have a 75-inch TV in the living room, and I'm sitting there holding this thing, and I actually went like, if this is the TV and this is the Switch, I like held it up like next to it, like about as far as I normally would hold it, and I'm like, it's the same size. Like I don't have those little bezels. Like it's just enough where I'm like, this is the same. Like I can work with this. This is great. So
that's nice.
But I'm really liking it. I'm surprised how much I like it.
I really do wish that they had added more horsepower in that, because then I don't know. I might feel differently, but I'm really, really glad that you're happy with it. I'm very intrigued to hear your thoughts as time goes on. and
Yeah,
to
I mean,
see
it's
if this is like one of those things where it's
As
just like,
time
yeah, it was
goes
nice, but
by.
whatever. I
I
feel
don't.
about the same about it
I
now.
mean,
Or
it's. I think it's the same that the majority of people that have one, um, have said at this point. I don't think it's by any means like this revolutionized, but it's like
yeah,
it's a big enough change that if you bought like I bought my Switch on day one. Like it's a launch Switch. It's not beat up by any means, but like even when we got it, I remember I was like I can put the screen quality aside for the fact that I'm able to play Zelda wherever I go.
yeah.
And this is like the screen is so vastly better that I can put the fact that it's not running at like a locked 30 or 60 whatever it is that I'm playing. I can deal with that because the screen is so good. But it's always that caveat. Like
Yeah,
there's
with
always that little
Nintendo,
thing
you're
of
not
like,
getting everything you want.
right, it's like
you're
it's
getting
not
almost everything.
It's not a perfect device, and I think what's going to be
Almost there.
what's going to be an interesting comparison is when the Steam Deck comes out and people do that side by side of like how much better is the Switch screen to the Steam Deck, because that also has a pretty big bezel. It's a chunky boy, and even though like it has good horsepower, I don't know how much better that display is actually going to be because I don't think it's an OLED. I know it's a pretty high pixel density, and I think it's the same resolution as the Switch, or close to it. But
I think it's like geared towards 720p because it's the screen size.
yeah, and
I
at
could
that
be
screen, and that's the
mistaken.
thing. Like at this screen size, I don't need it to be 1080. I'm not like, oh my god, this thing looks like shit. Like I don't.
Yeah,
That hasn't crossed my mind at all. Like
Yeah.
I think the resolution is perfectly fine, but it'll be interesting to see like this side by side comparison of like Shovel Knight running on the Steam Deck versus my Switch OLED. Like if I would be like, no, I'd rather just play it on the Switch because it looks that good. But that's also like a very specific like use case, you know? So,
and that is specifically like you have to buy the Switch version of something instead
right,
of just
right.
the PC version of something and what have you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I like it.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I
Glad
am
to hear
excited
you
to,
like
to
it.
hear how your thoughts evolve over time. Because I know that you and I, if I recall correctly, you and I had different thoughts about the Vita. Like I liked the Vita Slim because the
I
form
love the
factor
OLED. Yeah.
was so much better. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm a big like OLED supporter on the Vita. I mean, my Pixel 4 has an OLED display.
Yeah.
My TV.
Whereas for me, the Vita Slim comfortably fit into any pocket in my pants or backpack, and like that was what I wanted.
Yeah, like I don't care about that.
Yeah.
It fits in a backpack. That's all you needed to do.
Yep. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, man.
Josh, you had
Sick.
anything else you wanted to talk about, or was that all you've been getting into? I got a couple of things that we can kind of rapid
That's
fire.
honestly all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a couple of things that I can kind of rapid fire that I've been getting into. I tried out Eldest Souls, which I didn't know was this way, but it is actually a boss rush game in the flavor of Souls, but with some very interesting caveats. So I think this game is really cool. This is a game that was sent to me by a PR rep from CI Games. So she sent me like a handful of games to try out, and this was one of them. And I liked it considerably more than I was expecting, because a lot of these like 2D Souls-likes like just don't, they end up like, you know, like we're talking about, you know, with Astria Ascending and stuff, like there's just something that's off, and that's typically enough to like not make me want to continue with it. Usually, as we've talked about in so many Dark Souls likes, people take away, hey, people like these games and they like them because they're hard, and it's like, that's not why we like them. That's just a side thing that doesn't really have to do
of everything else.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's a difficult thing in games for people to be like, oh, people like this, and like not understanding why we like this.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why like like we've talked about this before with Mario, like Chris and I want very different things from Mario. And so we like different Mario games. And the games that he likes sell more than the games that I like. So they make more of those, which sucks because then I don't get the Mario games that I like. But like that's what happens. It's the same with Metroid. Like there's Prime and there's the Super Metroid lineage. And we just got a dope Super Metroid lineage game, and we're getting Metroid Prime 4. And so there's like, as long as I think both sections of the fandom are getting what they want,
and
I think it's fine.
Buying those games.
Yes, and buying those games, yes. Then I think it's great. I think where we get into trouble is where people hyper focus on one aspect of it to the detriment of everything else.
Right.
So one of the things that Souls games it's, and I understand why it gets missed because it's like the hardest thing to do, is environmental storytelling, setting a really good mood, pulling people in with like little tidbits about the world, and then combat that is not difficult but tough but rewarding. When you have feedback and everything is fair, and you don't feel when you die, you can take a step back and be like, "That's my fault. I made a mistake." Not that was fucking nonsense. What the hell? And so this game is really, really interesting, and it has this game, Eldest Souls. I'll say the name of it again because I went on kind of a tangent there. This game has no healing items, which I was like, wait, what the fuck? But it has a really cool rhythm that incorporates healing into it. So here is how it works. You have one attack, but you can also charge it. And if you charge it all the way to full, it will unlock your Blood Rage. And if you attack while Blood Rage is active, each of those hits will heal you. Your Blood Rage also being active grants access to a guard break move that cuts through boss armor. And normally that boss armor reduces all of your attacks damage to 0. Because of this, you can actually heal as many times as you want during a boss fight as long as you time it right, which I think is awesome. Like, that's so cool. So, like, if a boss fight is going on for a longer period of time, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Like, as long as you pace yourself and as long as you recognize the boss's attacks and know when you can charge your attack up and you're not going to get, like, destroyed while you're doing it, it's awesome. Also, the boss fights don't take that long. And because of this mechanic of building in the flow of you're going to get hit a couple of times and get really low on health, so like figure out a time that you can heal, that sort of thing. Bosses don't require perfection, which is the worst part about the later games in the Souls series. Like when people talk about like Soul of Cinder, which is the final boss in Dark Souls 3, or they talk about the Storm King, or the Nameless King in Dark Souls 3. The reason why people have beef with those and they think they're bullshit is because they can like chain you into a combo that takes you from 100% to dead, and you have to be perfect or else you're going to die. Like if you miss a dodge, you're dead. And that's not good boss design. You should be able to take a couple of hits before you die. And so because of the way that it like ping pongs back and forth between, okay, I'm getting hits. Let me step back, take a breather, charge up an attack, look for my window, do the attack, then do follow-ups to heal myself, and then watch for when it turtles up and then do a guard break attack. The fights go pretty briskly. I think I was only like 10 or 15 minutes into the game and I already fought 2 bosses and was like coming up on a third. Like it is basically like tiny little areas where you like walk through, dodge like little spike traps and whatever, pick up little notes about people who have been fighting this war or whatever. And then it's next boss fight. And I was kind of shocked because I wandered into this area and it was like big boss fight name placard across the life bar across the bottom. And I was like, oh shit, I'm not ready for this. You definitely are. Like that's what this game is. In the same way that like Cuphead is a boss rush game. Except this is like incorporated with the game and not like walk around, then click on this thing and go into the level. Like this is all just top down isometric, like hack and slash gameplay. But it's pretty good. It's like pretty cheap too. Hold on, let me actually look up how much it is. I don't know if Chris, if you had pulled that up.
I did not.
Eldest Souls, $20.
Oh, excuse me.
$20. Oh wow, it's got a 9 out of 10 on Steam.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean it's good. Like it's good. I like it. Out of all of these games, like I don't play many of these. Like I bounced off of what was that game? Salt and Sanctuary. I bounced off of that. I enjoyed like Death's Gambit, Afterlife, and like I think I'll go back to it at some point. And same with Blasphemous, but like this is one of those like, and I like Death's Gambit, Afterlife, and Blasphemous, but like I just kind of like fell off. And this one I was just like, let me just put a pin in this. I got to do some other stuff. I got to do Metroid, but like I'm putting a pin in this. I'm coming back to it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Right.
Apparently, and that's what I'm in the middle of checking now. Nintendo 64 and Genesis games are now available on the Switch.
Hey, if you have the upgraded whatever, right?
If you have the expansion pack.
Do you have to pay more for that, or is that just part of the thing?
You have to pay more for that.
Okay.
So it looks like I have an upgrade.
We just got a Switch Lite for Audrey, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't believe I didn't talk to you guys about this. We just what?
What color did she get?
She got teal, unfortunately.
That's the one I have.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I would have got the yellow one.
Fuck off. No, the purple one's the best one. It's GameCube purple or indigo.
Nah.
Yeah.
That one is
the yellow one is the exact same color as my Game Boy Color that was yellow. That you guys all hated on episode 200.
It's
that was
more pastel. It's not that like.
It's not that mustard yellow.
Mustard yellow. No, it's like a pastel yellow. It looks like an Easter egg.
Yeah, I like yellow.
I like yellow, but that purple
yellow is great.
Fucks. That's a good looking Switch.
Wait, excuse me. What did you say?
I said that purple one fucks. It's a good color for a Switch.
Write it down. Yeah, no, fun fact, we must have talked about that. My first car, I specifically was going to choose my first car based on the colors it came in. I was going to get that Nissan Frontier truck that came in the mustard yellow with the runners and the rails on the back where you could like mount stuff.
Yeah.
Man. And then I didn't. I just got my dad's hand-me-down Buick Regal that was his old work car. And it was sitting in a field in Kansas, and we had to drive it to California.
Right.
So
anyway, yeah, but we got her a Switch because she started playing. I forget how we got her on this, but I was telling her about Picross or something, and was like, "Oh yeah, you'd love this." And in fact, like I think there is a game like on my 3DS or something, and she like looked it up, and there was one on Switch on the. On like the Super Nintendo thing, there's a Picross game, like Mario Picross, and she started playing it, and she was like, and it was literally while I was playing Dread, and I was like, I need my Switch back, and
she was like, here's the thing about that.
Like, I was like, if you like it, we could get you your own Switch, and she was like sitting on the stairs playing it, and just like didn't even look up to me. It's like, how much are they? And I was like, I mean, they're not that much. And I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, a Switch Lite like is $200. She's like, I got like $500 of fun money. Can you order me one? And like, not looking up. I was like, yeah, they got a turquoise one or a teal one that I think you'd like because that's her favorite color.
Yeah.
And she's like, let me see. And like, I like held up my phone to the side, and she like glanced over.
I don't believe you.
For a second. She glanced over and was like, yeah, that looks good. And like, and so then we got it for her, and she's been playing it every day. Like,
have you used it at all? Like the light?
I did. It's depressing.
You don't like
it's
it?
Depressing. No, it's depressing because the buttons feel so much better, and the finish feels so much better than my Switch.
I think the screen on that is actually better than the original one because the pixels are packed more tightly.
Yeah, I do. The only thing that makes mine better is that you can dock it, and that's like
whatever.
I can't get rid of it because like we've gotten to the point where like Riley can see screens and she can start playing games and stuff.
Right.
Like, cause she's 2, her birthday is in 2 days. and so we've started,
She's also
like,
getting a Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna play stuff. Like we're gonna start playing some Mario games and stuff, and we're gonna see. And the funny thing is, she's actually not that interested in video games, which is funny. Like she like really wants to mash on the buttons. But then like it's not very long. It's not very long, and then she is like, I want to go back to like read my books and stuff, and I'm like, that's cool. Like we're like we all.
I feel like it doesn't
like,
happen until like they're 5 or 6 is like when they really start to like get with it.
Maybe. I mean, she hasn't like straight up played her own.
Yeah, it also depends on the kid. Like I was like 4, and I was like, N64 rules.
It depends if you have older siblings too playing, you're like, I want to do what they're doing, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was my uncle.
Yeah.
Because I was the oldest sibling that lived with us, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got that for her, and she's been loving it, and I will say I'm a little disappointed in the D-pad because it's in a bad spot. Like it's in a
that's not a fault of the actual button and how it works, or like the D-pad.
The D-pad feels good. It's just in a bad spot. Yeah.
That's my biggest problem with all of the Switch controllers is like I don't like how the sides are laid out by any means.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they changed that. I get why it is that way because you can crack them off and all that, but still.
Yeah.
If you want to get the expansion pack, so like I have the family pack right now.
We share. That's what I was saying. Like we just got the family pack because she got her own Switch, so now we've got our own thing.
So if you're buying it, like let's say you don't have the family pack, $80 a year for the expansion pass with like X amount of people on it or whatever.
Wow.
And I'm gonna take the piss here. You got to pay extra for them to add 2 consoles that are substantially less good than the 2 consoles that they already have on Nintendo Switch Online, which are NES and SNES.
Debatable.
But
I'm not a diehard Genesis guy by any means, but
yeah,
I mean,
I had one growing up.
I did too, but like I grew up with the N64, so like.
I really hope this is not the only version of Ocarina that we get.
It will be.
I think.
Actually, no. You know what?
Yeah,
they'll do Master Quest. They'll do the
I think
ROM
they'd be
port
fools
for Master Quest.
not to. Looking at how Metroid Dread is selling, they would be absolutely fools not to put the best version of all of their games on this console.
Yeah.
Because like, come on, this is like a phenomenon.
Yeah.
So.
And then if you are an individual, it's $50 a year for the expansion pass with all the online stuff.
Wait, so if you're on a family plan,
so I'm already on a family plan. So for me, if I wanted to upgrade, it's $66.
Okay. Like total?
I think I have to pay
it's
$66
like 30
right now.
Okay, it's like $35 per year for the base family. Right. Okay. So it's like double that if you want that. Man, what a rip.
Well, I think they also it is. I'm not saying this isn't me defending it. You also get the that Animal Crossing Happy Home DLC that they're putting out, which like if you play Animal Crossing, you're just paying for that. But if you don't, then you're paying for something you're not going to use.
Yeah, that's really dumb.
The alternative, what I'm hoping and I don't think they'll do this. What I would love to see them do is like, hey, if you're a expansion pass owner, you get, not that they'll ever make it, the Mario Kart DLC like is included now. Like you just get that for being a subscriber or whatever.
So like so basically like you get that would be a really interesting spin on the Game Pass model.
Right.
If you're like, hey, pay this for a yearly subscription. It gives you access to multiplayer and all the extra content that we add to all of our games.
Like imagine if they came out like a year from now and they were like, hey, if you are new to Smash Brothers, like let's say you just got a Switch, the Switch Pro launches and they're like, oh, we're making Fighter Pack 1 and 2 available for free if you have this. Like I could see them doing something like that. But
or like, hey, you bought Fire Emblem 3 Houses, here's the DLC for that.
Something like that.
You know, something like that. That would be a more compelling thing. Like if it would just be like, hey, you're paying into this thing that helps us support our games longer. Let's give you the things that we made with that support.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Right.
That would be more compelling than like, hey, I mean, in their defense, very popular game, Animal Crossing. So like, the number of people, and I know, like I'm in like an IGN chat where like people are like, "Yo, how about this Animal Crossing?" It's basically Animal Crossing.
Have you heard about
2.
it? It's the new hotness.
I mean, yeah, but people are basically saying like
craze.
it's like a new game.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, which is good.
Sweeping the nation.
So, but I'm just not sure that I'm ready to spend another, 200 hours or whatever on Animal Crossing New Horizons DLC or what have you.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time I spent in the original, but I spent quite a bit. But yeah.
There you go. There it is.
Can't even fucking see that. Okay, so there's in the N64 there's Mario 64, which is in that fucking game that they sent out. There's Star Fox, there's Ocarina of Time, there's Mario Kart 64, there's the heck is that Time Crisis?
Win back.
Do they really give out Time Crisis?
No. Win back. Mario Tennis, Mario Kart.
I
Zelda.
can't read any of that
fine.
text. It's so garbled on there.
It's fine. Sin and Punishment, Yoshi's Story. Those are the main ones so far. That's what they've included.
For a second, I thought that was all one title.
Sin and Punishment, Yoshi's Story.
Dr. Mario. Honestly, you know what my biggest problem is with the way the Switch does this? All of its emulation on all of these platforms.
Is the emulation on PC like better?
It is.
So dumb.
It's this bar where it says like start button suspend, and it's the side gradients. Like,
yeah.
just get rid of it. I would have played so many more games on like through their emulation platforms if that wasn't there. I don't know why they do that. Or like give me the option to change it. It's annoying.
Be like visual styles and let me toggle through.
Yeah.
And have it just be like pure white or pure black background and like whatever.
Yeah.
Like those, like the Mega Man or Castlevania games do, where it's like, hey, do you want to have a really weird,
do you want
like,
cool artwork, or
arcade
do you
cabinet on the side? Yeah.
Right. Like just do that. You know?
Yeah.
Or do you want
Give us
nothing?
options.
I want nothing.
Yeah.
I'd be more I'd rather have nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, shall we wrap?
Let's do it.
Yes.
This has been episode 201 of the Platformers. Thanks for joining us. You can find all of us corporately on social media at PlatformersPod, on Twitter, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. And we stream this episode on Twitch at twitch.tv/PlatformersPod, and it is archived later on YouTube at youtube.com/PlatformersPod. You can find me personally at Ribnax, RIBNAX. And you can't find my band on Spotify anymore because I'm not in that band anymore. So,
Oh,
yeah,
that's a bummer.
it really was. I was really feeling awful about it for quite some time.
Shit, man.
So,
I'm sorry to hear that.
yep. But I still like their music, so whatever.
Anyway,
Josh, where can we find you?
I actually didn't mean to bring that up, but I figured people would notice the
Absence of it.
absence of me plugging the Spotify. So,
well, you can find me on Twitter at the Jawa Josh. And then if you want to see all the cool video essay stuff I'm working on, you can go to youtube.com/mediaismythic. Oh yeah.
You can find me at
what the
Shrives93.
fuck did you say to me?
Thought they had me.
This is horrible.
So, Chris, where can they find you?
You can find me at Shrives93 on Twitter. Yeah, that's it. My wedding soon.
Hey. Oh, and I will just say if you were feeling super down about the band thing, the best friend that I had in the band left previous to me because he kind of saw
The writing
this
on
coming,
the wall.
and he actually, I went back over his texts with me, and he actually said, "Hey, if this happens to you, like I still want to make music together." So he and I are gonna get together and make some.
You're gonna
plans,
go make sweet music.
So I am gonna have something with I'm gonna end up having more music projects in the works that I'll be able to get out to you guys. So it is not the end of old Brian Barnett's music.
The end of days.
Aspirations. This experience has really lit a fire under me. Of like I went like 10 years without making music, and I'm not gonna do that again. I really missed it, and this was a really good learning experience. So I've learned that I'm significantly better at things that I thought I was not that good at. So we're gonna carry that into the future. So
fuck yeah.
Thanks, Chris. Everybody's raising up their fists in solidarity, and I appreciate that.
In defiance.
Defiance of
anyway,
those
yeah.
battles.
But yeah, if you missed our episode 200, I highly recommend you go take a listen to it. It's really, really good. We had Sam Adams on, and we talked about each of our top 5 games of all time. It was a really fun time. I actually listened back to it, and
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
He's a nice young man. I like him a lot.
He really is. Yeah, please review us on your podcast platform of choice. I know most of you listen on Apple, so go ahead and give us the ye old full marks over there and give us a review. And if you like the show and think somebody else you know would like it, then shoot them a share. Shoot them a share.
Shoot him a share.
Try saying that 3 times fast.
Shoot him a share.
Shoot them a share. Shoot them a share. Anyways, from all of us here at the platforms, we hope you have a truly wonderful week and stay safe out there, because until next time, we are out.
Bye.